Once upon a time, Blake Shelton was everywhere. TV screens, award shows, red carpets, the voice stage, you name it. But today, his life looks completely different, and honestly, more peaceful than ever. No blinding spotlights, no hectic reality TV schedule, just Blake, his land, and the quiet breath of rural Oklahoma. He wakes up to the sound of birds, not production calls. He spends more hours with dirt under his nails than makeup powder on his face. Gardening, farming, riding tractors, hunting, fishing, and soaking in the life he once only sang about. This is the real Blake Shelton now, far from Hollywood, close to home. And the deeper you go, the more you realize he didn't leave fame behind. He finally found himself. Number 1. There was a time when Blake Shelton woke up to camera crews, studio rehearsals, red carpets, and back-to-back interviews. His entire life was measured in season numbers, air times, and countdown clocks. But those days feel far away now. Today, he wakes up to something else entirely. Roosters crowing in the distance, the hum of a tractor engine warming up, and the Oklahoma sun brushing across the horizon. At 10 Point Ranch, Blake is no longer Coach Blake. He's simply Blake, the rancher, the husband, and the man reconnecting with the land that made him, escaping the noise. After years of working at full speed, touring, juggling the voice, and building a massive entertainment career, Blake found himself longing for simplicity. Oklahoma wasn't just home, it was healing. Far from the Hollywood swirl, his 1,300-acre 10-Point Ranch became more than property, it became sanctuary. Here, mornings start with dirt under his boots instead of makeup on his face. Instead of bright stage lights, there's nothing but wide open skies. The fast-paced TV life that once defined him has now been replaced with the endless rhythm of nature, and Blake loves it. There's something about getting your hands in the dirt that makes everything else feel small, he once hinted. That sentence says everything. Gardening and growing something real. Blake Shelton, the guy known for pyrotechnics on stage and witty banter on The Voice, now proudly boasts over tomatoes, sweet corn, beans, and fresh lettuce grown by his own hands. Gardening is more than a hobby, it's a return to roots. It reminds him of his childhood, growing up in rural Oklahoma, where life always revolved around seasons and soil. His Instagram occasionally features humble snapshots of rows of vegetables and hand-built garden beds. No product placements, no sponsorship tags. Just a man, a shovel, and satisfaction, working tractors, because he wants to. When Blake talks about tractors, it's not a country boy costume. At the ranch, he drives them himself, clearing land, hauling feed, maintaining fences, prepping food plots for wildlife, and occasionally plowing just because it relaxes him. The rumble of diesel, the smell of fields after rain, the feel of worn leather gloves. These are the new markers of success for him. There's no applause here, and that's exactly the point. Hunting, fishing, and finding quiet. Part of Blake's identity has always been tied to hunting and fishing, but now it's more than pastime, it's ritual. Dawn hunts, silent treks through the woods, quiet evenings fishing on the property's ponds. These are the moments that anchor him. They're often private, rarely posted, but deeply meaningful. At 10 Point Ranch, he's not performing. There are no judges, no live tweets, no pressure, just stillness, just purpose, just a man and the land he loves. The country life he never left behind. Even at the height of fame, Blake never abandoned the Oklahoma boy inside him. Fame blurred the edges of his identity, but it never erased his roots. Now, fully planted back home, he is living the life he always sang about, real country, not just country music. Fans often romanticize this shift, imagining peace like a movie scene, a cowboy hat hanging on a nail, sun-kissed fields, a guitar leaning in the corner. But the truth is even better. Blake is rediscovering who he is when nobody is watching. That's real freedom, a different kind of career. People talk about retirement, but Blake hasn't quit. He's recalibrated. He still performs, still writes songs, still does projects when they feel right. But he no longer lives in the industry, he visits it. He's not chasing chart positions. He's not chasing every opportunity. He's choosing the ones that let him stay true to the life he's built. And that makes his career feel more authentic than ever. Living on the ranch has brought back something rare, inspiration without pressure. There's no forced timeline, no TD season to tie ideas to. Songs come when they come, while feeding cows, fixing fence line, or sitting on the porch with a cold drink at sunset. Home with Gwen, not just a house. Even though Gwen Stefani came from a world nothing like this, she fell in love not just with Blake, but with his land, his rhythms, his peace. She gardens alongside him. She decorates the porch. She laughs as he teaches her to fish. Sometimes she just watches him work and says it's the most Blake thing she's ever seen. Their life on the ranch isn't glamorous. It's intimate. They plant seeds, cook meals, host family, and play with animals. They slow down together. Instead of being America's favorite TV couple, they get to be something sweeter. Two people building a forever home. The man he is now, Blake Shelton, will always be the guy who turned chairs, cracked jokes, and sang anthems like God's Country and Honey Bee. But fans who look a little deeper can see something new, something deeper, in him these days. He's happier not being everywhere. He's healthier not being constantly busy. He's truer not performing a version of himself. 10 Point Ranch hasn't changed Blake Shelton. It has simply revealed him. A life built on purpose, not pressure. Where millions once watched his every move, now only the wind and wildlife bear witness. Blake Shelton isn't running from fame. He's walking toward peace. And his footsteps are quiet, steady, and grounded in red Oklahoma soil. That's the life he chose. That's the life he earned. That's the life he keeps. Some artists reinvent themselves quietly. Blake Shelton did it with fireworks. After more than 2 decades of chart toppers, country boy anthems, and a TV career that turned him into a household name, Shelton could have stayed comfortably in autopilot. Instead, he made the riskiest move of his career. He left the label that built his empire and launched his 13th studio album. For recreational use only, a record that feels like a middle finger, a love letter, and a campfire confession all in one. It's more than a new album. It's a new Blake. Breaking the mold, the label split heard across Nashville. In 2024, Shelton made headlines, not for a new one hit, but for parting ways with the only label he had ever known. The company that had guided his career from Austin to God's Country was no longer home. The decision wasn't impulsive, it was inevitable. Blake had grown into something bigger, sharper, and more self-directed than the Nashville system wanted him to be. He wasn't content being a product anymore. He wanted to be a creator, free from boardrooms and expectations. Leaving that label was the line in the sand. It said, I can walk away from the machine and still be Blake Shelton. And he proved it. The album title that says everything. For recreational use only, released May 2025. Vibe, Country Grit meets Front Porch Rebellion. The title alone is a warning and a promise. Blake isn't preaching or posturing. He's playing. He's experimenting. He's making music because it feels good, not because the charts demand it. The album doesn't sound like a career strategy. It sounds like freedom, sound and spirit. The return of the prankster poet. Shelton's new record still sounds like Blake. Warm, southern, clever. But the approach is different. There's more humor, more storytelling, more rough edges. You can hear the dirt from Oklahoma. You can hear the gasoline from his tractor. You can hear the laughter from late-night writing sessions. You can hear a man not trying to be perfect. It's old-school country with a new kind of swagger, like he took his early albums, ran them through an outlaw filter, and poured a shot of whiskey over the master tracks. Some songs feel like campfire confessions. Some feel like beer-soaked jokes with a bite of truth. Some feel like therapy disguised as 3 chords. It's Blake. If Blake didn't care what Nashville thinks anymore. The creative breakthrough. Without the pressure of pleasing executives, Shelton's songwriting unlocked something fans haven't heard in years: rawness, realness, risk. Instead of writing for radio, he wrote for living rooms, backroads, and fishing trips. Instead of polished hooks, he let the lyrics breathe. Instead of chasing trends, he tapped into what country used to be and what it still can be when it comes from a place of love rather than obligation. Every track sounds like a man rediscovering the joy of making noise. New label, new rules. Now signed to a new label, one that gives him complete creative control. Shelton isn't just an artist. He's a partner. He's a voice. He calls the shots. That shift changes everything. He chooses the singles. He shapes the marketing. He decides what songs make the cut. He sets the tone, not the label. For the first time in his career, Blake Shelton owns his direction, and fans can feel it. Not retired, just rewired. When Blake stepped away from The Voice, many assumed he was easing into retirement. But now it's clear, he wasn't slowing down. He was stripping down, getting rid of what didn't matter, making room for what did. For recreational use only isn't a comeback. It's a liberation. It's evidence that Shelton still has something to say. And now, he's saying it on his terms. From superstar to storyteller, what makes this chapter powerful isn't just that Blake is still making music. It's that he's making music for the right reasons. He's not chasing relevance. He's chasing honesty. And that makes the songs hit harder. Whether he's singing about the land, the woman he loves, the youth he survived, or the man he's becoming, there's something deeper in this record. Not dramatic, not performative, just real. It feels like sitting beside him on the porch while he tells a story he never told before. The ranch roots in every song. It's no coincidence that this album arrived during his full-time return to Oklahoma. You can hear the machinery, the mud, the wind, the solitude. The ranch shaped the sound. The silence shaped the writing. The freedom shaped the message. Blake Shelton left the city, left the grind, left the label, and found something better. Himself, a career in two eras. Era 1, Nashville groomed superstar. Era 2, independent, grounded creator. He's not replacing his legacy. He's expanding it. Blake Shelton is now in the second half of a career most artists never get to have. A half where success is measured in soul, not sales. And this time, the songs aren't just for fans. They're for Blake too. In 2025, Blake Shelton didn't reinvent country music. He reinvented his relationship with it. He walked away from the machine without bitterness. He made the record he wanted. He proved that a country boy can evolve without losing identity. For recreational use only may not be his biggest album, but it might be his most important one. It announces that Blake Shelton's next chapter won't be driven by networks, labels, or trends. It will be driven by dirt roads, big ideas, deep roots, and a guitar that still sings like a heartbeat. Number 3, transitioning from The Voice and focusing on other ventures. After 23 seasons of sitting in the iconic red chair, Blake Shelton shocked fans and the entertainment world when he officially stepped away from NBC's The Voice in 2023. For over a decade, Shelton wasn't just a coach. He became the heartbeat of the show. His witty banter, competitive spirit, and unwavering loyalty to his artists made him a fan favorite. But as the music world evolves, so do the artists who helped shape it. And for Shelton, leaving The Voice wasn't an ending, it was a beginning. Shelton's departure seemed at first like the closing of a massive chapter, especially for viewers who tuned in season after season, not only for the blind auditions and rivalry, but for his charismatic presence. Yet, behind the scenes, the country superstar was quietly plotting a fresh direction, one that would push him beyond the rotating stage, beyond the spinning chair, and into a new creative lane that feels both familiar and daring. At the center of this next chapter is The Road, a brand new music competition series that Shelton is currently developing. Rather than replicating The Voice, The Road aims to spotlight emerging artists through a format that feels deeply personal to Shelton's roots: country storytelling, mentorship, and the authentic grit of rising talent working from the ground up. This is not a show built on elaborate stage lighting or dramatic button pushes. It's a celebration of The Road's musicians' travel to get anywhere worth going. After years of guiding hopeful singers with encouragement, honesty, and humor, Shelton now wants to flip the script. Instead of sitting as a judge, he is reshaping how music competition shows are made, and more importantly, what they represent. In interviews, he has hinted at wanting to bring something more organic to television, something that grows from the songwriting and the real pressures artists face on their way to a record deal, not just the televised spotlight. And that desire makes sense, considering Shelton's own path to stardom was anything but overnight. Walking away from a hit show like The Voice could have easily left him adrift. For many artists, the stability of a long-running role is temptation enough to stay. Yet Shelton's choice reflects something deeper, a natural evolution in his relationship with fame and creativity. Rather than simply taking a break, he is designing the next stage of his career. It's a transition from being the face of a major television franchise to becoming a creator of one. This shift isn't just business, it's personal. His time on The Voice gave Shelton more than primetime exposure. It allowed him to build relationships, expand his audience beyond country fans, and become a household name outside Nashville. It also opened doors into television development, something he now seems eager to fully explore. Fans who knew him only as a singer discovered a comedian, a mentor, and a performer with a talent for unscripted television. All of those skills are now driving his new ventures. And while The Road is the project currently in the spotlight, it's far from the only thing Shelton is investing his time in. He has been spending more days at home in Oklahoma, working on his ranch, managing his Ole Red Bar and restaurant franchise, and immersing himself in more grounded, meaningful projects that reflect his personal values. His life now feels less like a tight production schedule and more like open sky, something he said he has deeply missed during the peak years of filming. In many ways, Shelton is returning to the parts of himself that existed long before the TV chair: the songwriter, the guitar player, the small-town guy who always believed success wasn't just about what he achieved, but about how he lived while achieving it. His marriage to Gwen Stefani also played a major role in reshaping his priorities. He has spoken openly about wanting more time at home, more time for family, and more space to create on his terms. But even as he steps into new territory, Shelton isn't abandoning music. In fact, he has hinted that this shift may allow him to focus more intentionally on recording and performing again, without the pressure of balancing multiple seasons of filming each year. As an artist who built his career on hit songs and constant touring, his return to music feels inevitable, though perhaps slower paced and more deliberate than before. What makes this new era particularly fascinating is Shelton's commitment to doing things differently. He isn't chasing relevance or trying to maintain the same level of screen time. Instead, he is shifting his energy into creation and ownership. The Road isn't just another show to host. It's something he is shaping from the ground up, giving fans a chance to see a more entrepreneurial and visionary side of him. Some might say stepping away from The Voice was a risk. The show remains a major force, even without him, and his absence was immediately felt. But Shelton didn't leave because he was finished. He left because he was ready to redefine what career success looks like for someone who has already checked every major box. Awards, hit singles, sold-out tours, television fame, he's done it all. Now his goals are different, and his ambition has shifted toward impact and legacy. Transitioning from The Voice wasn't a retreat, it was an intentional pivot. Shelton is no longer just the artist who won over America from a spinning chair. He has stepped into a creative space that gives him more control, more authenticity, and more alignment with who he is now. And for fans, this era may be his most exciting yet, because it feels like a return to the heart of why people fell in love with him in the first place. He may no longer be hitting a button to turn his chair, but Blake Shelton's career is far from stopping. If anything, he's finally steering it exactly where he always wanted it to go. Number 4. Big live shows and Las Vegas residency. When Blake Shelton steps onto a stage, it's more than a performance, it's a homecoming. After years of balancing television fame, creative projects, and personal priorities, Shelton is back where he belongs, in front of a live audience, guitar in hand, feeding off the energy of people who have loved him from the beginning. His Las Vegas residency marks a powerful return, not just to live music, but to the electric adrenaline of performing night after night. Las Vegas has always been iconic territory for music legends, a proving ground where only the most enduring performers thrive. Now, Shelton has joined that circle, and he's doing it in a way only he can: honest, humorous, full of heart, and unapologetically country. The residency represents more than a series of concerts. It is a celebration of his legacy, a curated experience designed for the fans who followed his journey long before television turned him into a household name. Vegas gives Shelton something The Voice never could: the ability to tell his story in song every night, in real time, from center stage. The shows are structured like a modern country party wrapped in nostalgia. Fans hear the hits, God's Country, Austin, Honey Bee, Lonely Tonight, and everything in between, but they also get pieces of Shelton that aren't guarded by production cameras or network timing. He jokes, he reflects, he shares the memories behind songs, and most importantly, he connects. This residency isn't about spectacle, it's about soul. Shelton has always said he doesn't do fancy. What he does is real, and that's the secret to why the residency works so well. But the Vegas residency is only one piece of this live performance renaissance. Shelton is also hitting the road again with his Friends and Heroes 2025 tour, a continuation of one of his most beloved touring concepts. This tour isn't formatted like typical country runs. It's rooted in community and built around respect for the artists who shaped him and the artists rising behind him. Shelton's philosophy has always been simple: music is better when you don't do it alone. The Friends and Heroes tour blends Shelton's greatest hits with guest appearances from fellow country favorites, rising stars, and lifelong influences. It's less of a concert and more of a traveling tribute to the genre. Fans don't just get the music they expect. They get surprises, collaborations, backstage storytelling, and a front-row seat to the camaraderie that defines country music culture at its best. This is the Blake that longtime fans have missed. The Blake who lives for a good joke on stage, who stops mid-song to laugh at himself, who turns a massive venue into a backyard gathering. The Blake who started his career playing bars, county fairs, and rodeo circuits before he ever saw the inside of a television studio. The Blake who loves performing not for the paycheck, not for the spotlight, but because live music is the closest thing to magic he's ever experienced. For all the success he earned through the voice, it also pulled him away from full-time touring. Seasons overlapped, filming schedules were demanding, and his time became divided between television, home life, and music. Now, free from the coaching chair, Shelton is returning to the foundation that made him a star. The stage is again the center of his world, and the fans are again the heartbeat of his career. The timing of this shift feels deliberate. Country music is evolving, new voices are rising, and veteran artists are reimagining how they connect with audiences. Shelton isn't clinging to past success. He's stepping into a modern era of live performance with the confidence of someone who knows exactly what his fans want: sincerity, storytelling, a little mischief, and songs that feel like home. And Vegas, of all places, gives him a platform unlike any tour stop. The residency allows him to refine his sound, experiment with production, and transform his set into an immersive experience. Some nights are emotional, some are rowdy, all of them are anchored in the same undeniable truth: Blake Shelton was born to be on a stage. There's also a deeper layer to this comeback. Shelton has always been vocal about wanting to balance his career with real life. He has a ranch, a wife he adores, and a love for the quiet simplicity of Oklahoma. For a while, he questioned how touring fit into that lifestyle. But the residency and the Friends and Heroes tour offer a new kind of balance. He can perform in bursts, stay energized, and still keep his roots grounded. And yet, the excitement surrounding this chapter is not just about fans seeing him live again. It's about what the live performances reveal about him now. There's maturity in his voice, more grit in the way he sings an old song, more gratitude in the way he looks out into the crowd. His career isn't in a comeback phase, it's in a renewal phase. With every show, he's rewriting what it looks like for a country star to evolve while staying true to traditions. He's proof that live music is not just entertainment, it's identity. It's connection, it's belonging. For the fans in Las Vegas, for the crowds on the Friends and Heroes 2025 tour, and for the people who never stopped listening, these shows are not just concerts, they are reunions. They're moments where years of television fame melt away, and the only thing that matters is a voice, a song, and the shared experience of being there, together. Blake Shelton's return to the stage isn't just a professional move, it's a personal revival. He's performing like a man who rediscovered what makes him feel alive, and he's inviting everyone to witness it. The road may have changed, but the heart of his music hasn't, and the roar of a live crowd tells him he made the right choice. Number 5. Personal life, balancing fame, marriage, and family. When it comes to becoming a superstar, Blake Shelton has never been the type to hide behind an image. Millions of people have witnessed the unfolding of his life, including both the glitzy and the more mundane aspects. However, despite having a career that includes chart-topping records, award shows, and popularity on television, the most important aspect of his biography in recent years has been extremely personal. This includes his marriage to Gwen Stefani, the merging of two worlds, and the ongoing struggle to maintain a balance between love, profession and identity while being in the public eye. When Blake Shelton and Gwen Stefani tied the knot in 2021, it seemed like a fairy tale finale to an improbable love story that had its beginnings on a soundstage of The Voice. Their connection was forged out of pain and recovery, and for years, the couple appeared to be inseparable. They sang duets, posted on social media, appeared in holiday specials, and gave interviews that were filled with mutual humor and admiration for one another. In the years 2024 and 2025, however, fans started to notice a change. There were fewer joint appearances, more individual ventures, and longer lengths of time during which they were living and working independently. However, people who are close to the couple paint a more complex image than the tabloids, which immediately leaped to the conclusion that the couple had broken up. The development that is taking place between Blake and Gwen is not a breakdown, rather it is an evolution. At the same time as they are both embarking on new creative and professional chapters, they are also learning how to maintain their marriage in a world where fame is always testing their affection for one another. When it comes to Shelton, this period of life is less about protecting a relationship and more about reinventing how it functions in the face of change, distance, and the demands of a career. The fact that Blake has always been vocal about his desire for a simpler life is the reason why his ranch in Oklahoma continues to be his favorite spot somewhere in the world. Gwen, on the other hand, has a strong connection to Los Angeles. She has her children, her fashion line, her recording studio, and her job as a pop icon all reside there. From the beginning, their marriage has been a dance between these two different worlds. Gwen embraced the country calm, riding about on ATVs, and writing music with Blake by the fire during the early stages of their relationship. They spent the most of their time together on the ranch from the beginning. However, as her job began to flourish and his commitments began to alter, the equilibrium inevitably began to gradually shift once more. These days, rather than working side by side all the time, people are becoming more and more accustomed to working independently. In addition to performing in Las Vegas, Blake is now on tour and working on the road. Gwen is currently working on new music, coming up with designs for her fashion line, and parenting 3 teenage boys with a life that is firmly set in California. Despite the fact that this would be a deal breaker for many couples, Blake and Gwen are finding that it is really becoming a healthy phase of uniqueness inside their marriage. This change is not about maintaining emotional distance. Rather, it is about fulfilling one's own personal goals and practical realities. In a number of interviews, Shelton has stated that in order to grow as a person, it is necessary to enable your spouse to grow as well, even if this means that you will occasionally be apart. Neither of them ever intended for their love tale to be confined to a single chapter. It evolved as a result of their ability to learn to evolve along with it. However, the transition has not been a simple process. Watching them perform duets, laugh, flirt, and celebrate holidays together on television is something that their fans are accustomed to witnessing. The fact that they are spending more time apart has spurred talk of danger, but the reality is rooted in something that is much less dramatic. Marriage is not a linear process, especially when it is visible to millions of people. That is a stretch. Recalibrating occurs. And in the case of Blake, it is now necessary to have a level of trust that was not always feasible during the early years of his career when he was in the public glare. Balance is no longer a hypothetical aim for Blake. Rather, it is a requirement that must be met. Once exhilarating, fame eventually became overpowering. Being a husband, a touring artist, and a TV personality on The Voice all at the same time provided very little room for silence. Perhaps this is the reason why he is experiencing a sense of belonging in this stage of his life. Instead of being suffocated by the spotlight, he is establishing his own schedule for when he will appear in it. Famousness is no longer his driving force, rather it is his conductor. It is not the other way around. He is the one who is directing his schedule. On the other hand, despite all of the professional recalibrating, family continues to be the anchor. The relationship that Shelton has with Stefani's children has only become more profound over the course of time. In spite of the fact that he did not become a biological father, he became a father figure, which is a role that he never anticipated he would play but now greatly appreciates. He has stated in interviews that the children inspired him to change. They slowed him down, made him more empathetic, and brought to his attention the fact that achievement is meaningless if it is not shared with other people. He is not the celebrity Blake Shelton when he is at home in Oklahoma. Rather, he is the stepfather Blake Shelton, who prepares breakfast, assists with chores, and teaches children how to fish. Additionally, while he is playing in Las Vegas or on tour, his family frequently travels outside of the country to attend shows, commemorate significant life events, or simply spend time together. The separation of one's professional life and one's family life is not a disconnect. Rather, it is flexibility. There are those people who would prefer the version of Blake and Gwen that consisted of them standing next to each other at award events and releasing love ballads on an annual basis. The truth of a long-term union, particularly in a field that is subject to a great deal of strain, is that love develops over time. The concept of continual proximity shifts to one of consistency rather than constant proximity. It is not a fragile marriage. Rather, it is a marriage that serves its purpose. As a result of its foundation and choice rather than dependence, it allows for some degree of separation. Blake, on the other hand, has never been shy about stating that marriage requires effort. He has experienced the pain of divorce. He is aware of what it is like when love is not treated with the care it deserves. It is because of this perspective that he now places a high priority on honesty and boundaries. In the event that he requires some space, he will express it. If Gwen feels the need to concentrate on her music, he allows her to do so. There are different phases in their relationship, and they have learned to not be afraid of the more subdued ones. Although his life is still in a state of flux, Shelton appears to be more grounded than ever before. His pursuit of a sort of stardom that requires him to be everywhere at once is no longer a source of motivation for him. He is adopting a way of life that allows him to be in the public eye for a short period of time, then withdraw from it and return to a life that is more authentic. Achieving fame used to be the objective. Now, it is merely a tool. There is no longer a competition between marriage, celebrity, family, and individuality as competing forces. Blake Shelton is learning to maintain this larger balance with the same genuineness that made America adore him in the first place. These pieces are bits of a larger equilibrium. Despite the fact that his life right now is not flawless, it is deliberate. And for a guy who has spent more than half of his life in the focus of public attention, that is a form of liberty that is worthy of being celebrated. And that's the story of Blake Shelton's new chapter. Simple, quiet, and real. If you enjoyed seeing this side of Blake, then stick around, because here on our channel, we bring you the real lives behind the spotlight. What do you think about Blake's decision to leave the Hollywood rush behind? Would you choose a peaceful country life like this if you had the chance? Tell us in the comments below. We read every single one. And don't forget to like, share, and of course, subscribe. Your support keeps country star life going strong. We'll see you in our next video, where we'll uncover more untold stories, country legends, and the truth behind the fame. Stay tuned, stay country, country star life, and hit that notification bell.